Hey guys, let's get right into it. What do you need for a proper bearded dragon tank setup? So you're going to need a bearded dragon tank. I highly recommend a 4x2 foot tank. If you can't do that and you're starting off with a small bearded dragon, at least a 40-gallon tank is good, but ultimately you're really going to want to aim for that 120-gallon tank. Following that, we have a UVB tube, emphasis on tube, hood, and UVB bulb. Now, the tube lamp is gonna look, it's gonna look elongated. It's not just like a regular lamp setup with that little coil bulb. Those are no-nos. You're gonna need a 10 to 14% UVB bulb. Wow, he's, okay, whatever. We're gonna let him explore. Anyway, you're gonna need that in there. And then what I use is a 12% UVB bulb. I find that it works best. It doesn't oversaturate my dragon and it doesn't underdo those UV rays for them, if that makes sense. But it also depends on the sizing of your tank. You need to find the right distance and lighting and blah, 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 blah. But to make it easy, just get a 12% UVB bulb. That's a happy medium. Just do that. But if you're more interested, you can find stuff on Reddit, you can find stuff online, and like vet recommendations, yada, yada, yada. You can do your own research. Following that, we have our basking lamp and bulb. So that's a typical lamp, overhead lamp, and you're gonna have the basking bulb in there. Now, people usually are gonna ask, what's the wattage that I should use? Like, should I use 100? Do I use a 125? Do I use a 75? Do I use a 150? Here's your answer, okay? It depends. It depends on the size of your tank. It depends on how far your basking spot is from that lamp. So ultimately, here's what I'm gonna tell you. Get your basking spot to a temp of 100 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Whatever wattage bulb does that, chef's kiss, perfect. You know how you can make it easier on yourself? Get the 150 or 200 watt bulb and just have it plugged into a thermostat, like a Reptile thermostat. Set the temperature to what you want it at, and then even with the hottest bulb, it will turn it on and off so that it stays at that temperature. I don't do that, but you can if you're really anal about it. Totally up to you. Following that, we have our substrate. So, and also, sorry, to go back to what I was saying about the basking spot and that overhead heating lamp, I use this. It is a laser thermometer. Yeah, it basically tells me exactly what the temperature is wherever I hold it. If I put it on myself, it says that I am 89.4 degrees Fahrenheit. And yeah, it makes it super easy. I can see what the temperature of both my bearded dragons are, and I can see what the temperature of their basking spot, the cool side of their tank. You want that temperature gradient. So yeah, that's kind of it. I'm trying to make this brief and quick. Anyway, substrate. I highly recommend paper towel. Easy to spot clean, easy to just remove and replace a new one, and it's clean. It keeps it really clean. Whereas if you were to get my other recommendation would be tile, but you'd have to take that out and clean it all the time. Or some people, I don't recommend sand. You can do sand. I don't recommend it. A lot of bearded dragons lick their surroundings to understand the smells and mark the territory and understand what's going on around them. That's how they've taken the environment. And they could end up ingesting that sand, too much of it. It could cause impaction. It's just health problems that you don't want to risk. If you want to risk it, whatever. You do you, man. But ultimately, I highly recommend using the paper towel method. It's just so easy. It's what I do. Their claws can grip onto it. They are able to move around, not just slide around, whatever. If you do go with tile, it files their nails down naturally, but like just be aware that you'll have to clean it up. Speaking of cleaning stuff, it's great to just make a homemade cleaning solution. This is safe for bearded dragons if you do 1 part water, 1 part vinegar, and a drop of Dawn soap. Use it for all of my tanks, keeps them clean, is antibacterial, and is just a disinfectant overall. It's very nice. I highly recommend it. It makes my spot cleans and overall deep tank cleanups super easy. And then finally, moving on to our last one, we have our feeder dish and things for them to climb on and something for them to bask on, which I include on things for them to climb on. So you'll basically just want some sort of cleaned and prepared wood that you can get on, I don't know, Facebook Marketplace, at pet store, at breeders stores. I don't recommend going to pet stores really for anything. I don't think that they do things ethically or correctly when it comes to breeding, when it comes to using cheap materials, and even some of their recommendations are mind-boggling. So we'll get into that in another video. Otherwise, that's basically it. If you guys have any questions, please make sure to put them in the comments. I hope that this helped you to understand what your starter proper tank setup will look like in a bare minimum world, in a bare minimum ideal world, okay? Because you can do more than that, but these dragons deserve at least that. All right, thanks.